Alright, Chef Joe with Healthy Kids Inc. What we're going to make today is a quick and simple chicken noodle soup with tarragon. Tarragon's a great fresh herb to use, but you could also use thyme or rosemary if that's available to you as well, or you could use a mix of all three. I've got a pot of boiling water here to cook my pasta. It's salted heavily. You always want your pasta water to taste like the ocean. Can't drill that in enough. That is going to equal much more flavorful pasta. So the very first thing we're going to do is drop our pasta into the water. And a quick tip for dropping pasta into water is to kind of twist it like this and drop it in so that it scatters, or you can kind of do it with your hands. It's okay if it doesn't fit quite at first. You can use your tongs, help it down into there. As it starts to cook, it will drop down a little bit more. You're just going to cook this according to package instructions. You can always add a little bit of olive oil to the water too if you want. Alright, I'm going to put a lid back on that, let that cook. We've also got our soup pot over here heating up. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil into the bottom of the pan. And then we've got our carrots, our celery chopped up already. You could throw in a little bit of onion too if you wanted. You could also use fennel. Fennel is a great thing to use in soups like this. So just offering some ways to kind of spice it up a little bit. We've got our chicken breast here that we seasoned well, and we've already cooked these ahead of time and just sliced them up, or you can shred them with a fork. It just depends on if you want slices or shredded pieces. The first thing we're going to do is go in with our celery and our carrots. Let them cook for a minute. Season these well. We put salt in at the beginning to draw out the moisture from our vegetables, and that really releases the flavor from them. You can add a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper too. I like to season my soups in layers in order to ensure a depth of flavor when you cook. Stir that around. Bring up the temp just a little bit. We're going to sweat these out for just a few minutes until they get just a little bit of color on them. And as soon as they get the color on them, that's when we're going to go in with our low sodium chicken broth. And then we're going to add in our tarragon and our chicken. Let this all simmer together for just a little bit, half an hour tops, and then you'll have great soup that you could add your cooked noodles to. But that's another thing I want to bring up. You don't have to cook your noodles all the way through at this point. You can actually finish them in the stock as it's simmering. So you only have to cook these part of the way through now, and then you can pull them out, drain them, and then wait to add them into your soup. Stir. Just want to watch your vegetables and make sure they don't burn. Another thing that is important and that we've done here is make sure that all of the vegetables are cut evenly, and that ensures that they're going to cook evenly. So you don't want large pieces of the harder carrot and small pieces of the soft celery, because you'll end up with two different times of doneness on those. So it's very important that we keep everything the same size. Something you can also do is kind of offset your lid a little bit so that some of the steam gets trapped on the inside, and that'll help to soften those vegetables up a little bit more quickly. But we're letting some of the steam out so that you don't get them soggy. So we'll check these here in another 3 minutes. Alright, so our pasta is cooked part of the way through. I've set it off the heat. Our vegetables are getting just a little bit of color on them now. So now is the time to add in our stock. You want enough to really kind of cover your vegetables. Alright, we're also going to add in a little bit of our pasta water here. Okay. I'm going to take our tarragon leaves, drop those in. We're also going to take our pasta. Okay, so you've got the flavored starchy liquid from cooking the pasta. You've got the chicken stock, you've got the tarragon, your aromatic vegetables. Now we're going in with our chicken pieces. I'm going to give this, kind of stir it up just a little bit. And now we're going to season it just a little bit more. Bring the heat up so that it just starts to kind of bubble away a little bit. So the pasta is finished cooking and these flavors have kind of had a chance to come together. And the chicken will be heated through, so we're going to cover it. Let it come to just under a boil and then reduce the heat to a simmer. Let it simmer for 15-20 minutes, half an hour if you have the time. The longer time that you have, the more flavor that will develop, but if you've only got 10-15 minutes, this is already going to be a really flavor-packed dish. So we'll come back and check it in just a few minutes, and then we'll show you the finished product.